in the media conference with Lal Goyal, which is brought to you by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News Gaon se, Samvad Sarokar News, Bharat Post News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. And the current topic is the examinations cancelled, impact on students. But before I will go on the main topic, I would like to welcome all the viewers of Bharat Post News who have joined us today. From today, Bharat Post News will also be live streaming our show every day. Now, the topic is examinations cancelled, impact on students. Minutes after Prime Minister Honorable Mr. Narendra Modi's June 7th announcement cancelling CBSE Class 12 examinations for the year, social media platforms exploded with celebration. The jubilation, though, is temporary. The board is now in the process of planning an alternate model of assessment based on internal tests conducted by schools. Will the final marks be an average of the past 3 years or of the year-long tests, projects, and the pre-board exams? Will there be fair to those who are preparing to improve their scores in the final exams? While students claim that such marks may be unfair, teachers see this as an opportunity to bring about change in the education system. Internal assessment of students can give a fair idea of the learning abilities and potential of students rather than performance in one examination. An internal result would suffice as per the board's formula for their future admissions, since a student's performance over the whole year gives a more or less realistic picture of their attitude. The move brings the mental health of students into focus. Several students have been suffering from anxiety over whether exams will be held or not, and have not been able to enjoy the time that would have been otherwise been a post-exam vacation. While anxiety related to illness and deaths is a concern, the anxiety also stems from the emphasis put on examinations. While students must be experiencing anxiety about the future, it is a good opportunity to pause and reflect on the amount of importance that we place on academics in this country and the pressure that comes with that. This decision should prompt lawmakers and academicians to reevaluate the education system as a whole. Doing away with board exams could pave the way for more entrance exams for colleges and universities to accurately judge the potential interest and capabilities of students. It is a time we rethink the class 10 and 12 exams madness and look at this as an opportunity to make education more enjoyable and interesting rather than competitive. We should rethink how we deal with the questions of evaluations, learnings, applications, and relevance. We should have exams at the entry level rather than the exit level. Students and academic counselors, however, fear that an assessment model which takes an average of the entire year's tests may lead to an unfair basis for college admissions. It may have a long-lasting impact on the academic cycles, and inequality will be there, causing incompetent students to get admission in good colleges, leaving behind the meritorious ones. After the move, universities are also expected to revise their cutoffs and give ease in the admission entrance tests. Most students are concerned about the admission criteria. While those aspiring to study engineering, architecture, and medicine have exams such as the JEE and NEET and other common entrance exam, students of arts and commerce in particular believe that a score based on internal assessment might impact their admission to colleges. Exams should be intelligently structured such that every answer is different. So one does not evaluate on the correctness of the answer, but on the approach taken by the student. An average score that takes into account marks of the past 2 or 3 years may not mean good news for many students
who start studying with more seriousness only before the board exams. It might be a wise decision, but bright students might be at a disadvantage. Most schools set very difficult papers in class 11th to prompt students to balance their time between studying and physical activities. These students fare very well in the board exams. While several international universities have their own admission process, class 12 marks are often taken into consideration. Students who wanted to improve their performance from their past performance do stand to lose, but a student who has been consistent over the years has nothing to lose. There is a proposal under the consideration to allow students to take an offline exam at a later date if they are not satisfied with the score given by the school now. But this decision has left a few students worried, since most colleges and foreign universities will start the admission process in a few weeks, and an exam score that comes several months later will have no value. Attending to the demands of lakhs of students seeking cancellation of all state board class 12 exams, a PIL has been submitted. The petitioners stated in their PIL to the apex court, that is Supreme Court of India, that all state boards must follow the decision of CBSE and evaluate class 12 students with an alternative method. The petition highlighted that there are more than 1.5 crore class 12 students across the nation, including state boards, and conducting offline examinations of millions of students without vaccination could become the reason of third wave of COVID-19. Central Board of Secondary Education cancelled the examination for class 12, and result would be declared on the basis of an objective methodology for assessment. Following the same approach as being adopted by Central Board of Secondary Education, some of the state boards have already cancelled class 12th examinations, but Assam, Tripura, Telangana, Punjab, Andhra Pradesh have not cancelled the examinations, which has caused great distress and anxiety among students. Such stepmotherly treatment with state boards students is arbitrary, inhuman, and in clear contravention of Article 14 and 21 of the Constitution of India, the petitioner wrote. Now, the question is whether this cancellation of examination is for the benefit of the student or not. Now, the main question which has been raised by many is, because we have done a media conference recently where the topic was examinations cancelled impact on schools, in which the school owners or the directors have told us in the media conference that many of the schools in North India or many places, and especially the rural area, have not done any terminal or half-yearly examination last year, and there is no system of monthly or periodical assessment of the student. Now, in that case, it's a totally discretion of the teacher and the principal to recommend about the marks of that particular one student. They says that as per the media reports, corruption already started. Some report says that there is a percentage fixed, 1,000 rupees per percent. So if you want 80%, you have to shell out 80,000. If you want 100%, you pay 1 lakh rupees. We can't vouch for it, but these are the things which are happening. If these things are happening, this is a very, very unfortunate part for the Indian education system. Because what will happen to those brilliant students who have worked hard for last 2 years to score good marks in the board exam so that they can be selected in a very, very good university, or the entrance exams of IITs, JEE, or NEET for the medical, etc. But that is where the stand of the schools. They says whatsoever we are getting the instructions, we have to follow. But only thing is whether we will be following in spirit of this order or not, that is a matter of concern as far as the schools are concerned. But for the students, today our topic is very clear: examinations cancelled impact on students. So we have a very elect, very knowledgeable, learned panel with us from the different sects of the society. We have 2 educationists. We have one leading
advocate, and we have one renowned journalist with us. I would like to invite my first panelist, and she is Professor Dr. Jolie Jose. Professor Dr. Jose is an associate professor of MET School of Communication, MET University, Noida. She has a blending career experience of teaching, research, and grassroots work with communities. She worked in reputed educational institutions like Xavier University, Bhubaneswar, Sri Padmavati Women University, Tirupati, and Blue Mount Public School, Kerala, before joining MET University. She worked in Kerala and Tamil Nadu for 12 years with NGO in rural development sector with people's movement activities with a special reference to women, children, youth, and farmers, SHGs, etc. She had completed her doctoral studies in 2011 on new media and children, impact on adult content on children from the Department of Communication and Journalism, Sri Padmavati Women's University, Tirupati. Besides the development projects, she has worked in research projects on children such as social networking sites, online gaming and children, live research project on adult intervention and integrated development of children as principal investigator. She has authored 2 books, Cyber Exploration of and the Reality, with special reference on the Indian reality, Inexhaustible Spring Vathatha Neruvawa. It is in Malayalam, so my pronunciation will not be perfect. Mr. Arun Lakshman is laughing, so he knows the Malayalam, so he can give the right name. The story of migration to Malabar. She has published several research articles in reputed journals and as book chapters, and presented more than 20 research papers at international and national conferences. Her area of teaching is communication research, development communication, media ethics, and journalism. She is also a resource person to schools and universities and conducts sessions on growth and development, media education, and parenting. Welcome, Professor Dr. Jolie Jose on our show. Professor Dr. Jolie Jose, as I read the report, which clearly says that majority of students are happy, parents are happy because they need not to go for exams. But there is a but in this. Many, I will say many of those students who are quite studious, meritorious, they are very unhappy because now they will be at par with those students who are not that studious. Now, you being an educator, you have done so much social work, you are associated with the NGOs, and you have seen the students very closely. So you know the psychology of a student. So we would like to know from you the examinations cancelled impact on students. Professor Dr. Jolie Jose, please.
Thank you, Lalji and team, for such a very, very relevant topic to be on the platform. So as we know, and you have clearly expressed the whole background of what is out over there. The first excitement was that, we are saved from the examination, appearing from the examination. I spoke to a number of students around me. And immediately, the very next day, students starts to calling back to me that, there are concerns, we are anxious. How are we going to be graded? This is the first concern that comes to the minds of the students, and we are worried. And students who have given the examination, that states that then they feel all our efforts are gone in vain. We don't know, there is no clear guideline is given what is next. That is one area. And all of us have noticed that campaigns have been there to cancel the exam. When there was the cancellation of the exam in Andhra, we can see the protest on cancelling the examination. So looking at the whole of this today's reality, we can see a complexity of a situation in the learning. One is the severity of the second wave resulted a lot of emotional and financial concerns among the students. So the dream of studying elsewhere got stopped. Getting into good reputed higher educational or even the secondary educational context gets blocked. And one of the students was calling me and said there were 10 deaths in his family and around close friends in the last 3 weeks. And we are so upset. And the students who just call on being in the university, we found so helpless in situation. The previous day of the exam, a student is calling and telling that, Madam, my mother has just passed away. I cannot appear for the exam. What should I do? And it is such a pathetic, very, very considerable situation. The teachers and administration really feel helpless looking at the context. And another context is this really affects the performance and the learning of a child. And we have 1+ year learning from home. So which is home, it is primarily a place of relaxation, and it's a less disciplined with a lot of disturbances. Like a child who sits in the class, they own the audio or the video. We could hear the whistle from the kitchen, the pressure cooker's whistle. We could see the door banging and somebody is calling. There's an argument going out over there. A lot of vehicles noises out over there, and basically the quality of learning. Let's keep aside the pedagogy. That's a different thing. Being in a home atmosphere itself, along with the pedagogy which a child was used to, has really negatively affected the output of a child. And now, new evaluation method introduced. Shock has come. How will I be evaluated? Though the excitement was there, the students themselves start to be panic. So how I will be graded? Because what they are used to be to give their best in their board examination. So I used to call looking at the status of the students being in the higher secondary school for quite a few years. This is a life determining examination. So like whatever competitions which they had been preparing through, there is a point comes as a life determining examination. And here comes a block. How I'll be graded, and all the way which I had been prepared, it's all together. All of a sudden, it get diverted, and it is such an confusing, emotionally affecting status of a child and also the parent. One. Secondly, I can see there is a disparity in the way the status of the different states board has been. So there are certain boards has already conducted their examination, like Kerala conducted, result yet to be out. Bihar already conducted and published their result in the month of February. And Chhattisgarh already started a different mode of evaluating their students. Like they gave the students can go to the examination center and collect their question paper and answer it and submit it back in 5 days. And the other states just called off. They didn't give exactly what is the evaluation mode. And Goa suggested, it is something I found it is a bit of a consolation for the students. They offered uh, an opportunity for a student to appear later if they are not satisfied with the examination. But there is a concern comes in over here. We know that in our system, a second appearance would really delay the result. And would they really be able to join the particular course, especially the students of higher secondary? They are looking for their admissions within the country and also outside the country. And the challenge is also there for the higher education institutions to draw a different mode of admitting the students into the examination. All right. And another huge concern we come across is that, as Lalji has already mentioned, is the certain states have not conducted their exams. For example, Assam, they are not conducted their internal assessment at all, and a general assessment suggested to go for internal. We can just imagine the way the student will be evaluated. And another important point to consider is that when they go for class 9 and class 10, for example. So I was talking to one of my old friend in Bhubaneswar, a school teacher. We used to work for students programs over there. So was telling me they take 90 percentage, 40 percentage from ninth grade, and second, third, and fourth of internal assessment of class 10. But first class term, they are not students that hardly appeared for therefore we ignore that factor. And the concern comes in over here. We take class ninth grade. Look at the learning level of that student. And the student, the parents, and the teachers are never been informed and mentally prepared that this assessment will be included in their final grading. I know how casually, if it is not included in the final grading, how the student would be considering those examinations. So we all know that being education field, even otherwise as parents and being just there, everybody knows, no, they just appear it for the sake. But there will be very, very few percentage of students who are really studious in learning that. And I observe another concern that one of the management of the CBSE school was sharing that they're going to consider all the grades, average of the grade, plus the extracurricular activity of a child. And so look at here. How many students in a class of 30 or 40 would be engaging in the extracurricular activity? They'll be grading arts and sports. How many are good in arts? And how many are good in sports? And out of big strength in a school, how many are being guided to really perform or grow in that level? This becomes a really concern if they consider this a great majority. Plus, a very few students know more than and an average of 10 percentage plus, little bit. You see that students are self-oriented, they focus in their studies, and then they go steady. And this age, if you look at, there are a lot of distractions, being the teenagers, focusing in their education with the self-directed learning is a very, very difficult time for an individual child who is in the process of learning. So this present situation really calls for what type of pedagogy are we following. Though there is an ongoing learning process is being suggested in both state boards and the central boards, in actuality, how it's been graded. It's exactly based on the performance in the class test. Class test is a totally different approach. And a child's memory is tested, quite a bit of learning capability is tested, but what about other skills? Sports and arts, it's a different area, of course, the part of the growth of a child, but what about their skills? Problem solving skills, leadership skills, logic, analytical abilities. And these are all, have been assessed within the very, very limited context of a classroom. And actually, a teacher, it is very, very difficult to assess with a huge number of students around him or her to know what is the learning process and the way which we have the pedagogy. And in many school education and the higher secondary education, we'll see that textbook questions, answers, it is not even solved by the student itself. It's learned from the guide, learn from the tuition center how to tackle physics or chemistry or any problems, maths problem, or it's a sociology. You follow a pattern and it copy your mostly it happens copy the assignments and it is done. And the self exploration, it takes time. So there is a real concern comes in the pedagogy, how a child learning is really happening and how a child is being guided becomes really a concern today. The whole context brings this. So an unfair analytical mode followed today. Today, CBS is called for a different state keep or maintain themselves in a different delivery of the class, which is a pedagogical approach, different analytical approach, different class management or the session management. It is followed in the different timing. So this disparity cannot be evaluated in a justified manner. So an equal approach only be considered, consider a validatable evaluation of educational system. So we can say that there is a totally unfair if it is taken in exactly the same way it is there. This is definitely the disparities has to be considered before announcing it. A study should have been carried out in the different levels of the state and draw a comfortable solution which is appealing and acceptable to the students who is going through a lot of emotional trauma related to learning and the COVID pandemic second wave. So we have to consider this. And the comparison between the highly graded and by a student who is incompetent and who's really eligible. This the point brought out by Lalji. I would like to mention it over here. This is going to be another problem going to create in the minds of a child who is really potential enough to score and it could not, didn't have an opportunity to learn. And another point, we can also see that the 100% pass. We will wait and see. This is going to be 100% of pass. Is it a real justifiable promotion that is going to be there or grading that is going to be there? Where do the educational system absorb when such a number of students, being graded and passed into the next grade? Where will they go? And we've not seen a system after the announcement to take the concerns of the student's point of view. So what is happening to a child? To understand a child from the whole of the context. And we cannot take into consideration a student who is regularly going to school and performing. A student who would learn much better in a school context will not be able to perform being at home. I know children who had been in a room for 14 to 17 days. A class 9 student and his younger one of class 4th locked up in a room because mother is COVID positive, her father is taking care of this. Both the child, I was in continuously touch with these children. They used to chat and what's happening. They say frustration, we cannot go out of the house and weather is disturbing me, nobody can come inside. All that is happening. The learning context to be really considered when we go to grade at this moment. And another thing is to be considered. There must be an opportunity to improve when you consider a grade, especially for the class 12 students who should be or who would be waiting to go for an entrance. And then additional assessment criteria than what is being announced today to validate either at the board level or at the next entry level has to be ensured by the administration system and by the school. So I think I stop over here. Thank you, Lalji.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, the Professor Dr. Jose, for giving your views about the examination cancel. And I will just highlight 1 or 2 points which she has mentioned about. She says that some few schools are considering to have all the grades assessment to be taken before recommending to the board. But the question is, if the student has not studied in a same school, say from 6th standard to 10th, or suppose he or she studied somewhere else and joined only 11th standard, so you cannot have the 9th mark sheet or the grade in the hand of the school, might be only of the 10th standard. So that is a practical problem will come. Definitely, it was huge work for the schools. Then that she also mentioned it's very difficult to assess by the teachers, because the students are in a different mode when they are giving the test and when they are giving the final exams. And one but very interesting point, she says this because of the second wave, that the students suffered a lots of mental trauma, because there might be few of the family members are found COVID positive, or they will haven't expired during this time. So that is one of the reason that they also had the problem. But she made a very important point, is that before cancellation of exams, the board should have studied properly. And I can add that they should have taken all the stakeholders in confidence before giving this drastic decision to cancel the exams at all. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Jolizos. I will come to you in the next round. Now I would like to invite my next guest, and he's Professor Dr. Janeshwar Pai Marur. Professor Dr. Marur is MBA, MPhil, PhD. He is a professor of Justice K.S. Heger Institute of Management, NITTE. He has qualified KSET management examinations conducted by University of Mysore in 2013. He has over 18 years of industry teaching and research experience. He has worked as lecturer at SDM College of Business Management and Postgraduate Center for Management Studies and Research, Mangalore from 2003 to 6. He has worked with JP Morgan Chase Bank in India and Newark, Delaware, USA corporate office from 2006 to 2012. His teaching and research areas include behavioral and corporate finance, enterprise risk management, and corporate taxation, has a strong exposure in practical knowledge of the various statistical packages such as SPSS, MAT Lab, etc. He has published research papers in national and international journals, and also presented research papers in various national and international conferences, seminars, and workshops. He is a life member of Indian Institute of Banking and Finance, IIBF, Mumbai, Management Teachers Consortium Global, MTC Global, Bangalore, International Association of Academicians and Researchers, INAAR, Pune, Indian Academicians and Researchers Association, IARA, Assam, and Federation of Indian Professional Trainers, FIPT, New Delhi. Welcome, Professor Dr. Janeshwar Pai Marur on our show. Professor Dr. Pai, you have heard what Professor Dr. Jose has mentioned in her opening remarks. Now, we would like to know from you the examination cancelled impact on students. Professor Dr. Janeshwar Pai Marur, please.
Good morning, respected Lal Goyal sir, senior panel members, and dear viewers. Let me put across my views on today's topic, cancellation of examinations and its impact on students. In view of second wave of COVID-19 pandemic, the abrupt decision taken by the central government with regard to cancellation of CBSE board exams for class 12 in the name of health and safety of students being utmost important, and that there would be no compromise on this aspect, I feel is surely going to land our students into depression. Hours after the development, the Council for Indian School Certificate Examination, CISCE, also scrapped off its ISC examinations for class 12, causing a ripple effect in the education space. After both these announcements, there has been multiple reactions from the students' community, a sort of divide in their opinion, disappointment for some, relief from reeling anxiety and uncertainty for others, but apprehension amongst all. Youngsters on social media had a blast, sharing hilarious jokes and memes after the announcement of cancellation. A large number of people on social media alleged that, that this could be aimed at moving young voters for the central and state election, as Lal Goyal sir rightly said. Let me put some statistics here. Now, CBSE accounts for about 8% of the total number of students giving the class 12 examinations. The two other boards which are currently under the central or the center ambit is the ICSE and the National Institute of Open Schooling, that is NIOS. NIOS accounts for a bigger chunk, a little over 12 lakh students as according to 2019 data, and ICSE accounts for around 80,000 students giving the class 12 examination. Put together, these three boards account for, I would say, 16 to 18% of the total students from the class 12. Bigger state boards, when I say bigger, I'm referring to states such as Uttar Pradesh, which has cancelled the exams, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Bihar. Bihar, as Madam rightly said, has already conducted and announced its results, have more students giving the class 12 examinations than CBSE. So therefore, I would say that centers move to cancel examination might impact around 16 to 18% of the students. States do have a major say here. Karnataka government is yet to give clarity regarding the class 12 state examinations. I am from the school of thought that examination must not be cancelled. It is atrocious according to me. You might ask why. While the learning is a never-ending quest, examinations, assessment, evaluation are significant milestones of a student's journey. Let us not forget that. Unless a students are assessed and evaluated, the learning outcomes of teaching cannot be significantly accomplished and ascertained. Because such tests or assessments, by and large, ethically, epistemologically, and statutorily, bind students in an uncompromising commitment to learning, fulfill the set criteria, and acquire the necessary knowledge outlined in the curriculum to meet the required social and industry standards. So cancellation of examination will give a wrong message to the students. My fear is this might lead to disinterest among the students' community. Cancellation will not only affect those who had to appear for the exams this year, but it will also have a bad effect that on those students who are going to prepare for those exams in the next year, that is 2022. The midnight oil that have been burnt, the parental money that has been spent, the study hours put in the school and online coaching classes, their efforts, their time, energy has all gone into drain overnight with this decision. The holding of a result card will not be same for the students. Let us understand if they were allowed to take examination. So I say it should have been conducted in some form, maybe online, under strict human supervision or artificial intelligence based proctoring. We must boost our students, show trust in them, and do keep the online examination rather than abruptly cancelling them in the nth minute. CBSE, ICSE, and other state boards could have deferred conducting examinations in the month of August, at least as it is not feasible to conduct examination in June or mid-July, but cancellation was seriously uncalled for according to me. Our mother India is proud of laborious students. We have no dearth for sincere students. All our students are very sincere. We must encourage them and not demotivate or penalize them. Also, the ones, then you might say, what about the ones who are laggards? The ones we don't believe in, let's not give them easy. That is what I would say rather than cancellation of examinations. Candidates must be given a chance to write examination as they have been preparing for it from the last 1 year. Exams should have been held online. I still vouch that for it, that examination should have been held online, keeping the situation in mind under strict supervision. Both parents and we learned educators must hold hands at this point of time. No doubt, the ongoing health crisis has impacted students mentally, emotionally, socially, and physically. But the cancellation of examination will impact them academically, and that too for lifetime. They will never forget this. It is very unfortunate. In the entire year of pandemic, we have not been able to develop our country's education system and infrastructure to provide access to education to students all over the country. Had we been prepared for it, had the taxpayers' money been well spent, even the governments could have afforded, could have made provision for online examinations during this particular second wave. I'm worried that this is the second year of pandemic, and our preparedness to deal with this, I would say academic preparedness to deal with it, is still same as that it was in last year 2020. We knew that we knew for good 1 year that this situation is going to recur and is going to come again, and it has already come, but we did not prepare. This is the second time this is happening. Last year too, in 2020, class 10 and class 12 exams were cancelled. As an academician, I feel the true picture of student learning is really not emerging. And due to the online education system, many children, this applies to all our students, have forgotten to write the exams because most of the tests are objective or multiple choice question formats, and their writing has been completely gone to toss. These can never ever substitute the live pen and paper examinations. Another impact among students after the cancellation of exams is going to be in their near future. The decision of choice in terms of stream, what after 10th or what after 11th, or what I'm going to take in the 11th, or what I'm going to take at my undergraduate level, will have much serious impacts, and this will impact their entire career, and entire thing will go for a toss. Because students, then comes the question why? Because students did not appear for their boards, and they simply got promoted at ease, or simply bribing huge amounts to the school authorities, as Lal Goyal sir rightly said, to get good internal scores, or all sorts of malpractices they used during the online pre-board examinations, if at all they were really conducted in the online format and other internal assessments. So let me talk about the undergraduate education, that is about the prior graduation. Let me now talk about the undergraduate education. Merit is the basis for admissions to undergraduate programs. Class 12 board exams, even though it might sound more like a test for rote memory, let us accept that, provide some sort of gauge, results to gauge the meritorious position of the students. Also, student works hard throughout the year and looks at class 12 board exams as a final opportunity to improve their scores. Needless to mention that class 12 certificate either is a gate pass to university entry or the higher education. Now, cancellation is not a good for students following Indian syllabi, though it would be unfair to thousands of students and impact their college admissions, especially for those students who are planning to go abroad for higher studies. I'm very convinced, I would like to put across in front of the panel, I'm very convinced the new shorter academic year, that is 21-22, which we are going to witness, might face a unique approach in terms of formulation of merit-based results, be it seat reservation, eligibility criteria, and timeline for admission to undergraduate higher education. The cancellation of class 12 examination of all boards will directly impact and pave a new methodology for admissions to higher education. It could compel the higher education system to completely go for a modernization. So what is modernization? Probably reducing syllabus, focusing more on key concepts, and will permanently remove. This is something which I am convinced covering, it will permanently remove this covering everything and last knowing nothing fallacy of higher education. It is going to eradicate that. Calamities and challenges are part of life. Let us understand this. Escapism may not be appropriate response in these times. Learning is hard, and those who have toiled should not be deprived of their chance to shine by undergoing examinations. A scientific approach is to conduct these exams should be done somehow and should be worked out as soon as possible, so that the next year in 2022 academic year does not get disrupted as it was disrupted in 2020 and 2021. To avoid all these things, government has a pivotal role to play. To avoid such a situation, the government should opt for alternate mechanism like digital mediums to conduct various examinations. The government should think of using digital mediums to conduct various competitive exams like JEE, NEET, and for admissions to various universities and colleges in a fair and transparent manner to prevent loss of precious year for the students. The government, both at the state as well as at the center, should work together in improving digital infrastructure in the rural areas of the country to face such challenges in the future. To conclude, I would say, now that the examinations have been cancelled, to avoid subsequent impact, what is the road ahead of our students? We academicians need to discuss that. According to me, the road ahead for students is not devoid of challenges. They must shift their focus on their college applications, shortlisting the courses, locations, and their priorities. They should also continue to prepare for all entrance examinations or various type of unheard aptitude examinations, which the individual institutions might decide to take at a very short notice. Relieved from, if you think we have been relieved completely from no examinations, relieved from this pressure of taking the board examinations, this time should be devoted by the students for removing learning gaps if they have any. This would not only help them in admissions to colleges and future, but also prepare them for the courses they would undertake in future. I strongly advise the students to undergo taking up various add-on courses, learning new skills, I would say life skills also, building up a holistic personal profile could also be done as a part of the students' to-do list. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Pai, for giving your views. I would just highlight 1 or 2 points. What he says is that he is totally against this decision, and he has given his views about this, because he says that the 1 year the government has not done anything to create the infrastructure so that the rural students would have participated in exams. And he is advocating for the online exams. When he was talking about the online exam, I just have a discussion with a professor 2 days back in my program Kal Aaj aur Kal Lal Goyal Ke Sang in the evening, and she told me, she's from the USA, and she said that when I asked how the universities abroad or in the USA are doing this, is all have conducted online exams. So I asked about the cheating. She says the teach, you just reverse the teach, it become cheat. So it's basically whether online or offline exams, cheating, those who wants to do cheating, they will cheat. But there are many ways, many apps have come which are giving at least that much percentage of fair play which is required for any exam. But the problem in India is the infrastructure. And Professor Dr. Pai has mentioned very clearly why the infrastructure has not been developed. He also highlighted one thing, what is going to happen for the higher education admissions, because there will be a pressure, and how the colleges or universities are going to assess on what basis. And he has highlighted the same thing, that the conditions of the internal assessment in India is very poor. He has given the examples that so many places the exams have not taken place, or those are taking. So according to him, this decision is bad. They should have postponed the exams for some time, and then they should have done it, or they should have shortened the exam duration, etc. But online examination, he is advocating very harshly, because one thing is very clear. Today we have lost almost, this is the second year. What is the guarantee that next year is not going to follow the same? We don't know. Nobody knows. So one has to, if it's still not the government, whether it's the central government, the state government, if they will not start working now to develop the infrastructure, or they will feel now whatsoever has happened, next year we will see again, we will again postpone. What is going to happen to the students? God knows. Anyway, thank you very much, Professor Dr. Pai, for giving your views. Now I would like to invite my next guest, and he is Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma. Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma is a leading lawyer of Western UP with more than 41 years of practice. He is the chairman of Gyan Deep Shiksha Bharati Senior Secondary School, Mathura. He is regularly appearing in Supreme Court and different high courts, including Allahabad, Madhya Pradesh, Delhi, Andhra Pradesh High Court, etc. He is extensively practicing constitutional, civil, and taxation matters. He is also rendering social services. He is secretary of Kans Nikandan Trust, Mathura. He is founder, secretary of Civil Lawyers Forum, and president thereafter. Welcome, Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma, on our show. Advocate Sharma, you have heard what Professor Dr. Jose as well as Professor Dr. Pai has mentioned. And Professor Jose have given a balanced view. She's neither she has mentioned that she's against, or nor she has mentioned that she's for this cancellation, but she has given a balanced view from both the sides of the on the impact on the students. But Professor Dr. Pai is very clear, without mincing any words. He says that this order is totally unfair for the students. It's going to impact in a very long-lasting impact. We would like to know from you the examinations cancelled, impact on students. Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma, please.
Yeah, Mr. Goyal, first I am thankful to you for having your webinar on such an important topic, which is affecting the public at large presently and in future also. I think the part of the future is very much important, and we are very much worried about the future of our students.
Advocate Sharma, is there
Yeah.
any other device which is open? Some noise is coming from that. Please. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Now, this examination is the parameter to check the students what they have studied. The result of the examination denotes the brilliance, the labor, and the skill of the students. Generally, this result becomes the basis of the future of the students. There cannot be any result without any examination. The result is the ultimate of examination. If there is no examination, there cannot be any result. Nowadays, we are trying to have a result without having any examination. This is just contrary. As Ms. Jolly has said, that the assessment of the classroom work, or particularly in this year, we cannot assess the students sitting in their rooms and having the online classes. And particularly, as you have said also, this online class system is not available to the entire students, all the students. The rural area schools are not having any connectivity at all, no system at all. Even in the small towns or cities, all the schools are not having the system. Even if the school is having the system, all the students are not having the system. Particularly the students of the weaker section of the society are totally unable to get any type of education in this last one and more than 1 year. What can be the basis of assessment of all these students? There were no internal examination at all. There were no internal assessment monthly or weekly or bi-weekly examination at all. And as they were unable to attend the class due to paucity of the system, there cannot be any assessment, any type of assessment at all. So that opens a gate for corruption. As you have also said, I have gone through some news articles in local newspapers that particularly the schools of rural areas, the schools have started to have some means so that they may increase the performance of the student by any type of gratification. So this entire decision is polluting the total education system. As Mr. Pai has said, the better decision could be that the examinations may have been postponed. We may see that any of the competitive examination, either JEE, NEET, or any of the UPSC or State Public Service Commission, they have not cancelled any examination. They have simply postponed it. Examination may be conducted later on. Today, there is a big news article in today's newspaper that even in state of UP has cancelled the class 12 examination as decided by the central government 3 days before decision. Now, today's decision is that state of UP has directed all the universities of the state to have the examination of final year in the mid of August and to promote the students of first year and second year without any examination. The concern of Ms. Jolly and Mr. Professor Pai also was with regard to the final examination, and that is a matter of concern actually. State of UP has decided to have the examination in mid-August for final year, but they have cancelled the final year examination of class 12. This is absolutely discriminatory. In whatever way, the final year examination of graduate or postgraduate may be taken in the same way, the intermediate or class 12 examination may be taken in the mid of August, or even I should say in September. Delay in examination and thereafter the result may delay the session on. This time which has been taken, this may be covered in 1, 2, or 3 years to setting the session at a previous time, but it may not leave a negative impact as Professor Pai has said. The negative impact will going to affect the entire life of the student. the passing out certificates of this year may not attract the eyes of the employer at that time. They may easily say, yes, you have pass out of this year, stay at home, stay at safe. So this is going to affect the entire future of the students. Now this joy of passing out without any examination, this joy is only for a little part of the students who are not meritorious or who are not expecting good things out of this result. But this joy is very temporary in nature. This joy will very well diminish when they are trying to get the admission in good colleges on the basis of this without examination result or for any job. So this temporary joy is of no use at all. And it is this cancellation is affecting the meritorious students very much. Because opportunity to show their brilliance and skill by way of having the maximum marks in the examination, they have been refused to have that opportunity. Whatever the process of fixation of gradation may be adopted, because of that process is not final even yet. I would like to say in one writ petition of before the Honorable Supreme Court also with regard to that process, that one writ petition was filed before the Honorable Supreme Court for cancellation of the exam. Notices were issued. On first day, our Attorney General has simply sought for time for 2 days to decide the policy by the central government. On third day, they informed that examination had been cancelled and process or criteria for promoting the students shall be settled later on, and they will inform the Supreme Court later on. That process is still not final. It is yet under consideration. We are not known what shall be the criteria for fixing the percentage or the gradation. Unless that criteria is there, we cannot say anything. But what can be the criteria? That can only be the previous year examination, which was not there at all. The classroom assessment, there was no classroom at all. And the previous classes examination, as you have said, if the student has came new to this school and he was previously in some other school, there cannot be any result of the previous years. So these are the practical problems which we have to face in future. So I am, as you have said about Miss Jolly and Mr. Pai, they have she is balanced and she has given one way. Miss Jolly was also not in favor of cancellation actually, and her views are also that this is going to affect the students negatively. I am also of the view that this cancellation of examination is going to affect the future of the students in negative. It shall be very typical for the students to get admissions in the schools of their choice, to get job in future, and they will suffer in future. The joy of having no examination is very much temporary and will vanish very soon. That's all, Mr.
Thank you very much, Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma, for giving your views. And I will just highlight few views. He says that the online education, there is no accessibility in the majority of the schools or colleges. Even if the schools is having the online system, but the students doesn't have. So he says that the last whole year, there is practically no education took place, proper education took place. And the assessment in majority of schools, no proper assessment, because they have not even given the half-yearly exams, terminal exams, plus there is no system for internal assessments. And he has made an important point. He says when the UP government or the other governments are not postponing the entrance exams, or even like the JEE or NEET has not been cancelled, they are postponed, but even the university's final exams are not cancelled. Why the final exams, the 12th, were cancelled? Ultimately, it is going to be a very bad impact on the students because their future will be jeopardized. He also mentioned when the student will go for the further studies or for the employment, because he or she belongs to this cancelled post exams era, definitely the employer will not give that much weightage. Similarly, the universities, good universities, will not give that much weightage. So he is of that view that this is a wrong procedure, wrong decision taken by the central government. He also mentioned that there was a petition filed in the Supreme Court where the Attorney General has asked that time, and then he says that we have cancelled, but the procedure and everything we will let you know. Till date, they have not finalized the procedure. So as Dr. Jolie has mentioned very clearly, that they should have decided the process, the assessment first, then they should have taken this drastic step instead of cancelling the exam immediately without any prior notice, and immediately everything. Although few of the students or the political parties are asking for the cancellation, but it doesn't mean that if a political party or the students are asking for their personal gains, they have not taken the consideration of everyone. They have not asked the academicians. They have not asked the senior university pupils, so that the problem which is going to come faced by this batch students will be everlasting, not now. Thank you very much, Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma, for giving your views. Now I would like to invite my next guest, and he is Mr. Arun Lakshman. Mr. Arun Lakshman is the Director of Center for Policy and Development Studies, a think tank based out of Chennai and Thiruvananthapuram, focusing on social, economic, political, and strategic studies. He was officer on special duty to Minister of State for Law and Justice in Mr. Bajpayee's government. He is a freelance journalist and was former Kerala resident editor of The Pioneer. He worked with the New Indian Express as well as the See Voter Opinion Poll agency Rediff.com. Welcome, Mr. Arun Lakshman, on our show. Mr. Arun Lakshman, you have heard two academicians, Professor Dr. Jolie Jose, as well as Professor Dr. Pai, and one leading advocate. They have given their views, and the majority view is that this decision of cancellation is wrong, because you have already heard the reasons. Now, being a journalist and being worked with the government, and you are also doing so much work for the social and economic upliftment of the society. You are well connected with the ground reality. So we would like to know from you, apart from what academicians or the lawyer has said, your views on the examinations cancelled impact on students. Mr. Arun Lakshman, please. Please unmute. Please unmute.
Good morning, Mr. Lal Goyal and my fellow panelists. See, actually, this tough measures during tough times, government had to resort. I think so. Government had to resort. And naturally, government would have taken to confidence academicians, those who are in the know of the things regarding how.
Your voice is a bit feeble, so you have to speak a bit loud. Or you bring your mic near to you. Yes, please.
Maybe.
Just.
Is it okay now?
Somewhat more. If you can hold this near your mouth. Yes. Yes, please.
I don't know what happened. Yeah. Hello? Is it okay now?
Better. Yes. Please go ahead.
Actually, Mr. Goyal, it is tough times, tough decisions. That was what I think government had to do now. Government was forced to, I suppose. But I do agree with my fellow panelists, the two academicians who are well versed into academics, education, Dr. Jose, Dr. Pai. And as a lawyer and he was running a school also, a chairman of a school, I think postponement of exams would have been a better option. That is my opinion also. They could have postponed, because we have all came through all these hurdles of burning the midnight oil, working. If we were good in academics, we could understand how tough it was to cross an exam. So one fine morning, cancelling an exam maybe for 18-year-old, he would have rejoiced temporarily, as Advocate has told, Ramesh has told. But I feel that in the long run, the advocate that point is very clear and very specific, because in the long run, see 2021 plus 2. Oh, yes, it was a pass. It was an all pass. It is all possible. In Kerala, there was education minister, Dr. Joseph may be knowing, Chakiri Ahmed Kuti. And those days, when a student of that batch was considered, people will tell, oh, it is Chakiri pass. It was Chakiri pass. It means everybody was given a pass, promotion. So people, this is a very important question that would have been a bit more taken into consideration, dilly-dallied, discussed, and then came out of a conclusion on maybe there was a lot of pressure from all sections on what the government to the CBSE exam, but the better option could have been a postponement, maybe till August, when we would have vaccinated more of a populace, and the graph comes down. They could have gone for an examination. I feel that is a very valid point. Secondly, the digital point. In Kerala, I come from Kerala, and I think Dr. Jose also hails from the same city, same state. I feel that even in a 100% literate state like Kerala, the digital literacy is not that high. There are a lot of issues. We are facing a lot of problems, especially among the tribal colonies, especially even in the rural areas, in Idukki, in Wayanad, even in my hometown, home district of Kannur, in the remote area, there is no connectivity. Then if as a state which is boasting of every 100% literacy, 100% cleanliness, health indices, everything, it is not having a proper digital literacy or proper digitally connectivity, then you can forget the northern states. I do agree with Ramesh Sharma, because there were schools even in Kerala which we have breakfast and lunch we are giving here in most of the government schools we are giving, and it is happening in all the towns of the country. So naturally, we converting into digital literacy, it will be more of maybe it will not happen overnight, or maybe in a couple of years time. It will have to take more of a time. And even I was closely watching Tamil Nadu. In Tamil Nadu, there was a lot of opinion, there were a lot of diverged views on the Tamil Nadu state government +2 board exams. Even the ruling party's allies, MDMK leader Vaiko, the VCK leader Tol Tirumalavan, and a major section of the DMK who were ruling, they were for conducting the examinations. Vaiko had gone on record and told that you see, if you are conducting NEET, why don't you conduct this exam? Tamil Nadu has a better infrastructure. Tamil Nadu can conduct the exams. Why you don't conduct? You do conduct the exam. So maybe the same proposal as we were talking about, you postpone the exam to August, you do conduct. But the Stalin government took a different view. They cancelled the exam. And Vaiko had even told that this is going to be affect Tamil Nadu in a big way, because it is they're trying to backdoor entry of National Education Policy (NEP), wherein there will not be a board exam, and the admissions will be on the basis of entrance exam, not like that. So that was what Vaiko told, and even as being opposition government, the DMK government had cancelled the exam. So maybe governments are taking tougher decisions. I mean, tougher decisions for the student community, even though they may not feel that it is a tough decision for them. In the long run, as Advocate Ramesh Sharma has rightly pointed out, it is a bad decision for the student community. So the government had to take, it seems, tougher decision. I think I say the government of India is and the DMK government Tamil Nadu are diametrically opposite politically, but they have to take a decision regarding cancellation of exam, maybe because of that. But I do agree with the point raised by our fellow panelists, Advocate Ramesh Sharma and both the academicians, that maybe we could have postponed the examination. We could have given a try till August, maybe August mid. And then if at all, if the graph is not coming down, then the government could have gone for this extreme step. I do feel that it is an extreme step, and the student community, the students, the longer range will be affected by that these students are all they are all passed. They didn't take the exam. Their academics, and it's a very minority of the student community will be rejoiced. Maybe after 4 or 5 days, it would have dawned to them that so this is bad. The first day it was, as everybody told, the social media was erupted with joy that exams are cancelled. But the second day, third day, the actual situation sank in, and they could understand in the long run what is going to happen for them. Even I have my relatives, my nephews, and they are all very happy on the first day. But in second day, third day, the decision has clearly grown into them. What is in store for the student community, and even internationally also, we can understand whatever the government say. There will be a lot of bureaucratic was. Even if you're going to for academic career abroad, then there will be this criteria will not be there. The people will say, oh, you will not get admission. The marks are not there. How you were graded. These things will happen. So they could have taken a decision after maybe a couple of you waited till June. Then you wait for August. They could have taken that. I don't know what was in store, but maybe tough times, tough decisions. That is what I could understand, because in the politically opposite government in Tamil Nadu also took the same decision. Kerala went for the board exam a bit earlier, because before the second wave came in, they went for the exam. They have had to get the results had to come. But in Kerala also, digital literacy, there are a lot of issues here also. Maybe what privileged few, the privileged few in the urban centers are getting the benefits. In rural Kerala also, it is a big hierarchy. So if that is the situation in Kerala, we can very well understand situation in other parts of the country. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Arun Lakshman, for giving your views. And Mr. Arun Lakshman has mentioned very clearly, tough time, tough decision. But he says that he also believes that the postponement would have been a better solution, because if now he mentioned that these students will be termed as a, although he has not used the word, but I am saying it's a COVID batch students. And once you are using the word COVID batch, wherever they will go for the lifelong, not now. Many of you might not be remembering, but I'm sure Advocate Sharma can vouch. In 66 or 67, Mr. Charan Singh was the, or I don't know who was the education minister at that time in UP, and they have removed the English as a subject, the compulsory subject from the 10th board. The impact of that thing was so much that the students, where they used to apply, they says, oh, you are the same batch, your English. Whether the student might be good in English, but nobody was giving that weightage. Here, there is no exam. So he, according to him, and one more point, important point he has also mentioned, he says that Kerala, which is a 100% literate state, in spite of that, there is no proper digital penetration, no connectivity in the rural area, many places. How come when this is the situation, how the students have studied the last year? So he says that when now the graph is going down, although Kerala and Tamil Nadu is still, and Karnataka, they are still the leaders in the graph, but otherwise, like in Uttar Pradesh, the yesterday is about 600, 700 cases, the entire Uttar Pradesh, which is far bigger than Kerala, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. So there, when their graph has gone down so drastically, the exams can be postponed easily and can be taken somewhere in August. But they are in hurry. They just want to take the advantage, I don't know what advantage, without thinking about the future of these students. Thank you very much, Mr. Arun Lakshman, for giving your views very clearly. Although he has mentioned one more important point is that irrespective of the political alliance, he said the central government belongs to BJP, while the Tamil Nadu government belongs to DMK. They both have cancelled the exams. So we cannot say that it is a decision on one party across the party line. We can say one thing, that it might be that the leaders have not taken in consideration the real future of the students. They might have taken the consideration of their own future. Thank you very much, Mr. Arun Lakshman, for giving your views. Now my question goes to Dr. Jolly Jose. Dr. Jolly Jose, you have mentioned about the postponement of examination. Why not declare this year for the students only, the 0 year? Say if let's hope, although indications are very clear that by June end, maximum by mid-July, this existing virus will not be there. It may be in a very small pocket, but next virus when it will come, we don't know. Why not declare, if either postpone the exam or
declare it a 0 year in case if it is not possible, say by August or September, and give a study. It has happened earlier, somewhere in 76, 77. Yesterday, one of the panelists told me that their law exams, the university exams were postponed because of the strikes in 1976, 77. So if that can be done, these students would have come taken the proper education for the next year. My question to you is either declare a 0 year or postpone. What do you say about it?
What my personal view on this, that the river should flow. The river should flow, but it has to take care of its concerns. Like, why should we follow the same pattern everywhere? Or you want to have the same pattern and block it over there? So can we consider, let's take a state, and where there are opportunities for good assessment, a justifiable assessment, maybe for a digital, like Chhattisgarh, without having an assessment, instead it's go for give an open exam also. So there is also an assessment, and wherever is possible, which segment of that area may go for, and if there are limitations, maybe digital limitation, maybe pedagogical or reachable limitations, they can have a second segment of the assessment. Let those students and system give an opportunity to be assessed well, and they can take it on a second term for something like that. As I'm sorry, Mr. Lakshman was mentioning, I did a study on Haryana's status with my master students in just in the last year. We found in the primary school system, there were 25% students are no way to go to the school. No way. Because teachers have given digital education, teachers were being trained and they were giving tuition. There were 25%. It is alarming. It is such a shocking thing to me for our digital India. But can we go for the system? Why should we want to have the same flow everywhere? Because the context is different. Think of a diverse way, but we don't,
Okay.
just take care of the quality. We will need to take care. Don't compromise.
Okay. So according to you, the state should take a decision of the state-wise, not the central, follow the whatsoever the center has done. Thank you very much, Professor Jose. Now my question goes to Professor Pai. Professor Pai, open book examination. It's a common in Western country, and you stayed in USA. Why not? See, you after all, there is a procedure when the setter or the paper setter should decide, make the paper in such a way that even if the book is in front of you, you cannot give a proper reply. Why not? We have tried, and now when we are talking about that, but Professor Jose, I will just add one thing: should have done it state-wise, city-wise. Forget about the uniform examination, but there should be an examination. What do you say about this?
I say it's not examination, it is assessment.
Okay, sorry. Assessment. What she says is assessment. I stand corrected. It's assessment. But I am saying even the examination should be conducted now, state-wise, city-wise, district-wise.
Since I'm pro online examination, I feel that open book examinations, very good idea. The most the problem is with we academicians, we don't tend to trust our students. Let us not take students as the laggards. Let us imbibe trust amongst our students, because they are our major stakeholders. I think we should not demotivate or penalize our students. The most important thing is, if 98% of the students are hardworking and 2% of the students are laggards, we focus on the 2% and we keep aside 98%. So I think we should aggressively promote this particular idea of open book examinations, make examinations tough. Let the academicians not download something from the online resources. Let's make examinations tough, and those people whom we don't believe, or the laggards, let's not make them easy. This is what I would say, sir.
Okay, thank you, Professor Pai. My question goes to Advocate Ramesh Sharma. Dr. Ramesh Sharma, Advocate Ramesh Sharma. What is going to happen in, suppose after this assessment, which will be done now by the schools, result will come. I'm sure 100% will not satisfy. Few of them will be having heartburn. Will there be any legal remedy? Because what is going to happen, those, as you have mentioned, their reports are somebody will pay the money, they will get 99% marks. Those who are supposed to get 99% because they have not paid the money, they may get 45% marks. What is going to happen? It will not open the floodgate for the legal battles, or the courts, the students or the parents will go to the court?
We cannot say it right now because of the criteria for passing out has not been declared by the board or the government. Unless that criteria is there, we cannot say anything specifically, because of it is the criteria which may increase the litigation or may not. Now we have yet to see what criteria the government fixed. One thing more I would like to say, at Mr. Pai has said, in taking this decision, our Prime Minister has taken an active part and he has declared it. And in this declaration, an expectation has been made from the all state governments and state boards to follow this decision. Now, states or state boards are not bound by it, but an appeal by our Prime Minister carries a heavy weight for the state governments and the state boards. And due to this appeal of our Prime Minister, so many of the state governments and state boards have cancelled their examination. Otherwise, they may have taken a separate decision.
But I just want to say one thing. What Mr. Arun Lakshman has mentioned is that irrespective of the political alliance, like in DMK is ruling in the Tamil Nadu, they have also taken the same decision. Although, yes, of course, you are right that once the Prime Minister has come on the board, although it's a matter of a CBSE board chairman or the education secretary or education minister, not the heavyweight like our Prime Minister to come and say about this. But the decision was also taken by DMK. What you say about that?
Yeah, whenever the decision has been taken immediately after the appeal of the Prime Minister, the decision is following then. But when the decision is taken after passing of time, as Lakshman has said, then that joy has gone and the other considerations have become started. So the results shall be separate. So many states have declared cancelled their examinations just the next day or the third day after the appeal of the Prime Minister.
Okay, thank you very much. And just like Dr. Jose has also mentioned and others have also mentioned, that conditions of everyone is different. Like CBSE board is different than the UP board is different. UP is huge, the biggest one, and that their challenges are different than the CBSE board. Thank you very much. Now my
state boards are having much more students than the CBSE board.
Yes, true. Now my question goes to Mr. Arun Lakshman. Whose fault is this, Mr. Arun Lakshman? You had, like Dr. Pai has mentioned, 1.5 years passed, no infrastructure was developed. What we are doing? We are just conducting elections, organizing Kumbh, making Central Vista. We are not bothered about our future of this students of our country. Are we blind, Mr. Arun Lakshman? You being a journalist, what you are doing? Why you have not? You means why the people have not asked for the infrastructure, whether it is in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Delhi, anywhere. Infrastructure is required for the education. Everybody knows why it was not done.
It's a question to be answered by the policymakers, no? As a journalist, I can.
Mr. Arun Lakshman, why I asked you? Because you have worked as a director for that, or you are the director of Center for Policy and Development Studies. That's why this question is to you.
We do give presentations, we do give papers, we do give.
So why the presentation was not given? He first develop the infrastructure, or declare 0 years. Say no education for 1 or 2 years. Let us declare first. We should develop the infrastructure. Otherwise, what is happening? What is going to happen? You are digital divide. 70% of our population in rural area, they are not going to get the studies, and only the metro or big cities, as you have mentioned, the privileged one, will get the education. So you declare it like that.
It has to be discussed and decision taken by the political parties. They are the ones who are taking decisions. As a think tanks and outsiders, we can only give suggestions. Let the see. Actually, we should focus more on primary health and primary education. That's the two important areas we should focus. And we, as in a what footing, we should complete those things. That's my opinion. It's my opinion.
And sorry to say, in both the fronts, we failed miserably. Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Arun Lakshman, for giving your answer. I am sure our viewers have come to know what you want to say. So, viewers, you have seen and heard what our
one thing.
Yes, please.
I do agree with Dr. Pai when he told that our students have to be taken into confidence. That's the one important point. Our students have to be taken into confidence. Maybe let the academicians don't download from internet for questions. They do work hard. They prepare tough questions and let open books be here. Maybe only 2% maybe like us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
98% are students.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. So, viewers, we have seen today the experts from different sects of the society has given a very, very clear thing that this decision, although it was declared by our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, is not wanted at this stage. He should have postponed it at least for a 1 month or 2 months. We waited for a month or so when we have controlled. I must compliment the many governments who have controlled the pandemic. If the figures are right, like in UP, only 600 and 700, then they should have also conducted the exams in July or August or September. But cancelling the examination is going to have a very, very devastating impact on the students. That was the views of our experts. So thank you very much. Today's program has been live telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, Newsgaon Se, Samvad Sarokar News, Bharat Post News, as well as it was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor is to bring to you everyday new topic. But because we have started for last 3 weeks a Hindi program, it's a mixed Hindi and English program for half an hour, where we talk about an achiever. We just take the autobiography of an achiever, what he has achieved and what message he or she wants to give to the young generation. And today in that program, which is called Kal Aaj aur Kal Lal Goyal Ke Sang at 4:30 p.m., our chief guest is Lieutenant General V.K. Chaturvedi, retired, PVSM, AVSM, and SM. He will be explaining about his own life journey. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Jolie Jose. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Janeshwar Pai Marur. Thank you very much, Advocate Ramesh Sharma. And thank you very much, Mr. Arun Lakshman, for giving your very, very vibrant views. And thank you all the viewers for joining us and watching our show. Thank you very much.